Hi, this is Wildcat Vlogs again. Hopefully my kids won't start knocking on the door and bugging me. Hopefully. They probably will. but this topic is on it's related to my subject that I'm studying in my bachelor's degree. Um the class I'm taking right now is psychology of aging, and I'm eating, so I might start yeah. But psychology of aging is my one of the classes that I'm taking, and I love psychology. That's why I'm taking human services, which is kind of similar, sort of, yeah, a little bit. Um, but um, yeah, I wanted to talk about aging or ageism, which is actually a word. Yes, ageism. Ageism is when um, somebody is judging or prejudging based off of someone's age before they even know the person, or they have pre-thoughts, prejudging based off of their age, whether they're young, whether they're older. And actually, there's discrimination against age differences also, just like there's discrimination against race and then against e- ethnicity. I cannot say that. But I'm pretty sure y'all know what I'm talking about. and based off of economic discrimination, also, you know, poverty versus riches discrimination right there. Um, but today I'm talking about ageism, and discrimination of age differences. Um, there's, I would say this is the most neglected discrimination. Like, many people don't even look upon it, and people don't really support it like it should be supported. Man, people overlook it and act like it just don't happen. Um, so that was good. But yeah, um, I forgot what I was gonna say. Okay, many people overlook it, and because they overlook it, it really doesn't get addressed that much. Just like, sexual orientation, people support their people have parades and they have days that they celebrate. Well, age don't, like, people don't pay any attention to them. It seems like they're just forgotten throughout time until they just pass away. And there's two different age is that's been isolated. One is more isolated than the other. One of them is ageism of youth, which is the children I'm talking about and the babies. Um, and for the history, but I have learned in my previous class, our class is that in the history of time, especially around times of war, there was a great number of orphan kids and kids without parents. And so they would go in boarding homes or in churches, Catholic churches, with the nuns and the priests, and they would be looked after. Or the government would take, if the parents, whoever parent wasn't responsible for the child, isn't there or doesn't pay to have their kids there for care, the government would take over. And when the government take over, this could be a bad thing because now you're in the government's hands, and there's so many children that's also in the government hands, so they get very pushed off to the side, isolated, and not really care for individually like they should. And that's where the orphanage was big and popular back in the history, and many times the children were punished very dramatically, and a lot of children ran away from that. That's where the Hard Knock Life um, song came from, with the movie. I think Curly Susie, or I forgot her name. But, it's a hard knock life for us. That song was inspired by a movie that was inspired by an orphanage, which were so many orphanages out there that was like that orphanage. So, and a lot of kids did run away. They didn't want to be punished for everything that they do, taught harsh to, not really nurtured like a mother or a father would do. Yeah, they had clothes on their back, they had food and stuff, but they wasn't cared for emotionally. So a lot of them was very sad, very depressed, and a lot of things going on in their life. So and a lot of child abuse, a lot of child abuse reports happened. So even when they ran away, this still did not protect them from child abuse. Actually, it probably was more child abuse after they ran away, because then now they have to take care of themselves. And, there's trafficking, sex trafficking, and also, there's my kids. Also, the police back in history times had a kind of like how the police and how racism is kind of like bumping heads right now in present day. You hear about the abuse of black males and black women and stuff like that. That happened with ageism back in history. They would, taunt kids. They would abuse kids. They would. Sometimes there was one case that a kid got his nose broken because police kicked him in the face. And it just kept going on until they brought it to presence, brought it to light, and then it kind of slowed down. I don't know if it actually went away, but it never happened all of a sudden. So even when they ran away, and even if they was on their own, they still got bothered by government officials and police, that because they're out on the streets, and the police didn't want them out on the streets. They want them out of view from tourists and stuff like that. So they would taunt them and do stuff to them. Okay. And that's one ageism. That's a history. You can even look it up. I can probably even look it up and find different resources that states that what I'm saying is true. So, but that's what I learned in my class. Um, and another form. This is a longer video. Another form of ageism is the elderly ageism, and the Satirians. Satirians are the people that's over 100 years old. It's a small portion of that population, but it's going to grow throughout years coming in the future because technology has happened. More people are researching on what's healthy to eat, what's not healthy to eat, the stuff that we thought was healthy. And now we find out through researchers that, hey, this is not healthy. Don't eat that. Don't eat it. So stuff like that is saving our lives and making us live longer and have longevity on our lives. So a lot of people are reaching 100 years old compared to back in history times. So yeah, but besides that point, even the elderly, even the people that's younger than 100 years old, but they're over the age of 65, that age frame has some people. America is mixed with different cultures, different ethnics. So Some people are well taken care of because that's their cultural way to take care of your family. They are still your family. Some people, um, just put them in the nursing home and let them wait until they die, type thing. And some people do financial abuse, which is the largest abuse of elderly abuse, because they can no longer financially take care of themselves. They have to depend on someone else to take care of their finances. That leads into dangers of, um, taking their money and doing whatever you want. Identity theft is very large in the elderly population and is not really addressed. And like, there's so many cases out there, but it's not looked upon. It's just like, they're gonna die soon type thing. And that's a ageism comment. Like, a lot of people talk about, hey, well, they're close to dying anyways type thing. And even like back in history time, they different cultures and different places had different ways to um, reduce the care of elderly people. They would, I read upon, I don't forgot where it was at. I can look it up if y'all want me to. But they had this elderly woman, and it was other people, of course, like her, but it was this particular case or whatever or thing that went on was this elderly woman, and she had, she could not take care of herself no more, and she lost her ability to take care. So other people had to take care of, but other people had their lives to go on. They had their children to take care of also, or grandchildren to take care of. So what they did was take her, and they took her to the spot, and they buried her alive up to her up to her head was just standing out of the ground. And because they did that, she suffocated because she can no longer breathe because her chest was getting compressed. So eventually they killed her away. They let her die just like that. And it was practiced a lot in their country, and also in some Asian cultures back in history time. I doubt they do it now. I don't know. But they would take the elderly out to what was called suicidal forest, and they will, which is a forest that a lot of people commit suicide on. That's why I call it suicidal forest. It's actually so-called haunted. And a lot of, there's no animals out there. There's no sounds out there. It's just pure quiet. And a lot of people would get lost out there because it's like a big circle, big trails of circles. So, oh, my laundry. So a lot of people would get lost out there. So they would take them out there and then let them set them out there and let them die. So that was, ageism. That's one of my blogs. Just don't forget about the elderly. Don't forget about the children. They all make us who we are today. So, if you see something wrong, address it. That's how we change things, right? Bye.